we're back. Hello.
Hurrah!
Thank you for joining us.
This is Keith Fields.
And this is Lady Sarah.
And thank you for joining us for
a cup of tea. We're back, and we've been back after a really busy week off.
We
a few changes.
A few changes. And one of the changes is we're just going once a week. You know, twice a week, doing the show twice a week was quite phenomenal.
It was quite
exhausting.
Quite draining, quite tiring.
So we're going for once a week on a Tuesday at 2:00, and you've made it. You're here. Well done, all of you.
And if you
Big
miss it
thumbs
live,
up.
if you miss it live, you can of course watch it on Facebook or on YouTube or on the Magic Soiree website.
Look at you, Keith, remembering all those things. I'm very impressed. So what have we got on the show today?
Well, today, yes, we have had recently a cheese tasting and wine tasting and a cider tasting.
I like the cider.
I know you did, rather. It's good.
I like the cheese.
And today, seeing as this show is called A Cup of Tea, we're going to do a tea tasting.
But darling, you don't like tea.
Yes, but I'm prepared to try something new. And besides that, Stephanie Beck from Sweetwater Coffee and Tea is going to be with us.
Fantastic. And as you know, we do like to have a little bit of magic on the show. And we're going to meet the man who saved the DMC.
The DMC?
I know what you're thinking, but you're wrong. It's the Detroit Magic Club. Johnny New York is in the house.
Well, he's not in our house. That would be wrong. Socially, he's in his house, but you know how it works. So the exciting news we have is we have a new member of the family, which is one of the things we've been doing for the past week. We
have a new member. Are you ready?
Here it goes. Run the
2nd of July, and in 3 days' time, this little guy will be 3 months old. Magic is out for his sniffy walk because he gets a sniffy walk. Look at him doing his thing with his sniffy walk every day. Magic, sit, sit. Good boy. Could crazy or sensible Jeremy do that at 3 months old? Enjoying this park at 6:30 in the bloody morning. Over and out from nearly 3 months old Magic.
Yes, this is what our life is going to be revolving around for a year.
Our new puppy called Magic. Who thought of that one then?
It seemed the obvious choice.
He's a leader dog.
Well, he's a leader dog in training.
Up on the screen.
Oh, look. Hi, my hero and my lovely daughter. That means I'm her hero.
And I'm her daughter.
My mother-in-law.
Yeah, great.
Hi, Muriel.
Thanks, mother.
What we say. Yes, Magic the guide. He's going to be a guide dog when he grows up.
He's going to be a leader dog.
Sorry, they call them guide dogs in England, leader dogs in America. It's all so confusing. And you are going to meet him live on here at the end of the show.
Now, I don't want you to think this was an irresponsible choice. We have done this before.
This is not a COVID puppy, people. This is, this is a serious thing. We did it in the UK.
Yes, we did. And we hope that he will be, in a year's time, a guide dog. We're learning a whole new terminology, and we'll tell you all about that later on in the show. So
Today's
Keith.
guest. Yes, most big cities have a magic club, and Detroit is no exception.
But over the last 15 years, the magic clubs across the world have been declining in their numbers.
In fact, our club in Detroit had dwindled down, so there were perhaps just a handful of members, maybe 4 or 5 people turning up at the meetings.
But the one man who decided that it was worth saving the Detroit Magic Club.
It's easy for you to say.
Is with us today, and we now have over 50 members meeting every month, sometimes on Zoom at this current time.
Absolutely, yeah. And the exciting thing is the techniques he used are techniques which anyone can use. So if you're a member of a club which is struggling or suffering, or an organisation.
So like Toastmasters or
the Rotary Club,
Rotary clubs,
or any of those things. If you're a member of a club like that needs a bit of a boost, the techniques this guy put together, I think, will work for your organisation as well.
We can use them in business as well, though.
And for business as well. It's all good, positive stuff.
So who is this guy, darling?
Who is this man? This is the man who...
well, we're going to welcome him, aren't we? Because he has created the best magic trick of all. He brought the Magic Club back to life.
And we've got some pictures of it.
Oh, pictures first. Whoops-a-daisy.
Yes, there he is.
Who's in charge of pictures?
My goodness me. Look at that charming young man.
Oh, he was so cute. Oh, he's got a trumpet.
Well, yes, you can hold one. I wonder if he can play it. It looks very good there, doesn't it?
Very good. Ladies and gentlemen, put your hands together for...
Mr. Johnny New York.
hold on. There he is.
How are you doing, my friend?
Guys, that's quite a build-up. I was beginning to think, who are they talking about? I thought I was in the wrong meeting, the wrong tea time.
July the 4th has just passed. Obviously, it's a big thing here in America. What were you doing on the 4th of July, Johnny?
I had the fortunate opportunity to be with my family, and fortunately for the family, my brother is the barbecue grill master, and it was over his house, and he cooked up a storm, and we all had fun.
Fantastic! That's brilliant. Now, Johnny, we do know that you play the trumpet too. There is a bit of a trumpet thing going on. Do you want to tell us about the trumpet thing?
Well, I was a musician and trumpet player all my life, and I only recently got into magic. Okay, so there it goes.
Yeah, so I'm gonna push you, Johnny, because I know you are probably one of the humblest men I know, and you assume no one wants to know, but I know you have played with many of the greatest musicians and singers, names that we will all immediately recognize. Can you just spin a couple out for me?
Oh, let's see. Well, these are a little far back, but Jerry Lewis, Liberace,
wow.
Victor Borga, Rodney Dangerfield.
Blimey!
Mitch Ryder from Detroit.
Yeah, just talking to you about those times just gets me really excited, because you are a young guy as a jobbing musician doing all that great stuff. It must have been humongously exciting times. But then you got into magic. Yeah.
What actually happened is I would be towards the very end of my career as a trumpet player there, so to speak. I would watch a lot of Hallmark movies with my wife, and don't tell my wife, but they weren't exactly up my alley. And
what?
I grabbed one day, I grabbed a deck of cards and started fooling around, and I said, hey, this is a lot of fun, So I started getting into it a little bit, and then I took the plunge and actually showed up to a club meeting and things like that, and a card convention, and really had a lot of fun.
Johnny, that's so funny, because I'm sure there's many men out there thinking, yeah, I don't want to sit through a Hallmark movie. But Keith, we've got a game to play, haven't we?
Before we go any further, we've got a special game we play called Say Something in British, when we choose a random British word, and you have to see if you can guess what it means. So you've seen the show, Johnny. I know this, so you know what to do. Here we go.
Stop.
Perfect. Okay, so the word we have for you is natter. Natter. Have you any idea what a natter is?
Should I answer that right now?
If you think you know, we'd love to hear.
What?
Natter. Well, I'm thinking it's a trick question, and nat starts with a G. So I'm going to say maybe it's the little bugs that get caught in your teeth when you're out riding a bike.
That's a great guess.
That's a great guess.
I like that. That's a good guess. Totally wrong.
I know the Brits always ride bikes, so what the hell?
Totally wrong, but great guess.
Good guess, Johnny. Good try. Good try.
I love it. So, listen, before we go any further, I'm just going to have to interrupt. I've just had a text come through from one of our members at the Magic Club.
We're texting, we're emailing. Yeah. Look, we've got people viewing. I mean, we've got comments. What does the text say, darling?
Well, I just want to share this. It's from Fred Lenter, who's another member of our club and a regular viewer. He says, what John has done for our dying club could be a blueprint for any type of organization. He came in with a plan to make everyone feel welcome and important, and is constantly looking to improve the club. He's the best president we've ever had. So this is what your members think of you.
Wow, Johnny, that's huge. That is
praise.
A high praise.
I do want to thank Fred. He's our vice president of the club, and he is my right arm man. And now, unfortunately, I owe him $35. But what the heck?
Well, Johnny, we'd love to know your tips for making the club such the success it is. But first of all, can you just give us a bit of history on the club? I mean, for some people who've been around here for years, they won't know of the Detroit Magic Club.
Yeah, the club has been around for decades, and it's had its ups and downs and that sort of thing. I started attending, and it was more or less kind of trending downward, I suppose. And after going to all of these, to a lot of these meetings, I would talk with Fred. I would talk to other members, and And we always had ideas of things we wanted to do. Why couldn't we do it this way or this way? And eventually, a few fellows called me and said, "Why don't you be the president?" kind of a thing. And I was eager to do it because we had been talking about what we would like to do, and we actually had the chance to actually do it.
That's fantastic, Fred, Johnny, because I know for many people who are involved in clubs, we always have ideas. How would we do it? But you stepped up to the plate. We'll get on to the blind story. God, Fred's on fire today.
Fred's joining in because I read out the bit from him now. He's going, I've got to join in. It's not about you, Fred. Let it go. Let it go. Let it go.
So we know what motivated you. It was the fact you didn't want to watch movies. And we know that you're obviously, starting off, your main career was in music. But give us those top tips for running a club. Tell us what your top tips are.
Yeah, what did you returned it round?
First of all, I do want to say I always loved magic. I was always curious by it. But music was very time consuming, just like magic can be. And so I was a devoted musician. But once I got into the club thing, we had talked about this, me and Fred and I and other guys. And I basically, we did 4 things, okay? The first thing was we said we really wanted our meetings to always have a real positive, constructive environment. Mm-hmm. The other thing that we did was we wanted our meetings to have a definite plan, a definite agenda, so that everyone that came to the meeting left the meeting really knowing, really feeling like they learned something. It was worth driving past all those Michigan orange barrels that are on the expressways all the time. The third thing that we did was communication. I'm absolutely annoying. I don't know why our club members forgive me so much, but I annoy them like crazy with little blurbs about, hey, our meeting is next week. It's only 3 days away, that kind of stuff. So we really wanted to communicate. And the last thing we did, we all listen very, very carefully to what our members want and say, and we kind of monitor how much they attend our meetings, why they didn't come, what will they need to come to the next one, and things like that. So that's the plan.
That's the plan.
And the plan has worked.
Yep.
Been fantastic, as I said, because you've really turned the whole club around.
Well, it's really the strength of our club is truly the membership itself. We have Robert Purcell is our treasurer. He does a very nice job. But the club members, we're like a family. It's really impressive. Everyone is trying to build the club. It's not just a few of us. It's the entire membership working together. It's beautiful.
Perfect.
And the great thing about the magic world, of course, is there are so many different types of magic, which and you can see all of them at the club, from comedy magic, family magic,
bit of mentalism,
mind reading, kids magic, close-up magic. What's your sort of particular interest?
Well, I really like close-up magic, and I'm just fascinated with card magic. All right. And,
I see you have some.
You've got a close-up
magic
there. Just there.
I tell you, if it's not asking too much, Johnny, can we pop you in the green room while we meet our second guest, and then bring you back to show us something in a few minutes' time? Is that okay?
That would be wonderful. I'm excited.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Ladies and gentlemen, we present the savior of the Detroit Magic Club, Mr. Johnny New York. Thank you so much, sir.
Wow, what a guy.
He is a great guy.
He's very humble, isn't he?
He's incredibly humble.
Very humble.
And the more time I spend with him, the more interesting things I learn about him.
Yes.
He's great.
Yes, absolutely wonderful. And I'm looking forward to his magic. Now, tea is part of my family history. My father, many years ago, before I came into existence, managed a tea plantation in India.
And tea used to be such a simple thing. Remember the good old days when you pop a bag into the cup, add some boiling water?
Darling, one never did that. You put a bag, or you put loose leaf tea into a pot.
It depends how posh you were, you see. There's this difference between the two.
And then you add a spot of milk into the cup.
Well, that was always the argument, wasn't it? The always the thing was people would say, do you put the milk in first, or do you put the milk in afterwards? And it was kind of like an issue back in those days.
Well, yes. For some of us, anyway. But now tea is a much more complex affair. And to tell us about it, we have this lady coming up here. Now you see her in her prom shop. Look at that.
Look at that nice car.
She was color coordinated.
Yeah, we should get out the way so I can see the car.
Field.
I want one of those.
You can't have one.
And the car.
Ladies and gentlemen, we are going to welcome from Sweetwater in Troy,
Stephanie Beck.
Yes, Stephanie!
Hello, how are you guys? You have to love that 80s hairdo. It was 1988.
Yeah. I was thinking of getting one of those.
I'll let you borrow some of mine.
Stephanie, where are you?
I'm actually in my cafe today working.
We're interrupting your working day. That's fantastic. The cafe, for those who are interested, is Sweetwater's Coffee and Tea, which is in Troy City Centre, which is a fantastic, quiet little place. Not many people have discovered it yet, have they? But I think this is going to be a really vibrant place.
No, we're kind of like a hidden gem right in the new Troy City Center next to Morton Steakhouse, Melting Pot, across from Shake Shack and Fidelity. So it's kind of hard to see us from the road, but if you come on into the parking lot, it's actually free in the structure as well as in the parking lot. There's always open-ended. There's 8 floors of parking, so.
And actually, I was there with Magic
just the other day.
So you can take your leader dogs as well.
So before we get onto the tea, we do have a couple of other important things we have to do. One of them is, do you know what the word natter means? Have you any idea at all?
I'm guessing because you guys are from the UK that's English slang, possibly for a drink in England, since we're doing coffee and tea today. I'm guessing, maybe.
Great idea.
In the liquid realm.
Great idea. So wrong.
No.
Go figure. I was going to cheat and look it up, but I didn't want to do it.
No, we don't want that. We don't want that. This is an educational show, you see. You have to learn something, and then later on, you have to go. Our friend John Boy has just said coffee is so much easier.
Yeah.
Agreed. If you ask me a coffee recipe, I'm there.
John Boy's an old flatmate of mine, and we always used to drink black coffee together. So there we go.
So, Stephanie, you were brought up here in Michigan.
Correct.
And you went away for a few years, as some people do, and then you came back to take it.
I did. I actually have been in business for 30 years, opening up retail stores across the U.S., and I've always wanted to own my own business. And I started looking into franchises, and I saw that Sweetwater's was a Michigan-based company, which really inspired me because they've been around for 28 years. 2 U of M grads actually started the concept out of Ann Arbor. And when I saw that, I thought, great, I can give back to the state I grew up in. And I looked around for the perfect spot. I thought Troy is a great area because they don't actually have a coffee house or tea house here, which inspired me to want to build and open up this concept here and bring something fun to the Troy community that I can support, because we do a lot of community events. And we actually won the Taste of Troy for our ginger lemon tea at the Boys and Girls Club event that we have done 2 years in a row now.
Perfect. Well, funny you should say that, because I picked up a couple of teas, didn't I? And we have them with us today.
Which one are we going to do first?
Well, we've got mine here, which is smells gorgeous. It's definitely. Can I pull that up? It's definitely a mint, and it's a green mint, isn't it, that you recommended?
Correct. Yeah, it smells amazing, and it has kind of a buttery flavor.
So tell us what this is. Tell us all about it.
Okay, the Greek mint is actually loose leaf tea, which is all we carry, which is amazing because you actually get the floral scent of all of our teas. And that's kind of a buttery aromatic flavored tea. It's very low in caffeine and it's very good for you, kind of brings out the senses. It's great for summer or winter, iced or hot.
Oh, no, I have to say. I'm a big hot tea fan.
Iced tea is not very big in England. It's not something we
drink much.
Yeah.
But I do like, I mean, the mint is fantastic. It's a great smell. It just, wow. And
you use the word buttery. I would never have used the word buttery to describe a tea, but this is buttery is actually a very descriptive.
It has a buttery aromatic flavor of mint. Yes. That's that's a description of our tea on the Greek mint. Yeah.
And then Keith, we picked up another one as well. The second teapot.
Yes, look at this. See, we are a multi-teapot family. So tell us what this second tea was, because it's another fruit tea, but it's different from the first one.
It was a passion fruit, wasn't it? That you
Correct. Yes, the passion fruit's amazing, and it's actually a very fruity flavor. It's a black tea, actually, so it still has caffeine in it. Unlike the Greek mint, has very little, but the passion fruit's amazing. It's one of our top sellers. People love it, and you can actually mix the teas too, because that one's wonderful, iced or hot. Even though you don't do iced in England.
That is true. Okay.
I'll be honest, I'm not a tea drinker. It's not something I do. Coffee is much more my thing, but these are fascinating.
But Chuck says that the ginger lemon is also great ice. Well, thanks a bunch, Chuck. Thanks. I mean, he's helpful. He's a really helpful guy.
He is. He comes in regularly for the ginger lemon iced tea.
But the thing that also gets me now as well, when we talk about milk, I mean, I noticed when I looked at your board, you had a variety of, what happened to just ordinary milk?
Coffee used to be, tea used to be with milk or without milk, and that was your choice. And how many types of simple things like milk do you have to carry nowadays?
Oh, wow. Probably around 5. We have oat, almond, soy, 2% skim, and looking into coconut as we speak.
I don't know how you milk it. How do you milk a coconut? Wow. And you trained on all of these because all of them are local. Well, so all your bakery goods are local. You're very much a Detroit firm in that respect. Or you have a variety of baked goods, don't you?
Oh, yes. We use 3 local bakers. So we use Crust Bakery out of Fenton for like my croissants. So we have buttery ones, almond ones, chocolate ones. He also makes an amazing quiche. And we do a broccoli cheddar and a tomato basil, which are wonderful for breakfast.
I know the cake stand that you have there is absolutely fantastic. And I know I wouldn't be able to get you out, but there's one other thing that was mentioned by our daughter, who is a fan of Sweetwater's. There's a thing you do called London Fog. Now,
oh, yes, London Fog, which you guys don't know about being from England. I'm shocked. Come on.
No. I just want to give you before you tell me what London Fog is, this myth of London Fog, we haven't had fog really in London for 40 years.
But we like to talk about it.
But everyone seems to talk about London Fog. What's the fog like in London? I don't know. It never existed in my lifetime.
How did it translate into a drink?
Yes.
What's a London Fog is actually tea, hot tea, with steamed milk of your choice. So you can do any kind of tea, in which we have multiple choices on that factor. You can do, I probably have about 30 different teas. So we can make you any kind of London Fog you prefer. We can do the Earl Grey, which I know you're a fan of. Earl Grey is amazing.
I'm gonna pop in later on this week, and I'm gonna try a London Fog because I've never done that before. That'll be a new experience for me, and I like new experiences.
You can check out our mobile app actually and order London Fog, and I'll have it ready for you right when you get here.
Fantastic.
A mobile app, darling. A mobile app.
Stephanie Beck from Sweetwater's Coffee and Tea, thank you so much for joining us. Would you stick around for a few minutes because we have got a little treat with some magic from John in New York. Does that sound good?
Absolutely. I can't wait.
Thank you so much.
Perfect. Shall I bring Johnny back into the stream?
Bring Johnny back in.
Let's add him into the stream. Johnny, thank you for coming. Johnny, we need to all start buying locally. And for all you guys who go out and buy tea and coffee, I think Sweetwater is the place to go.
Absolutely.
Pick them up.
Absolutely.
So support your local coffee and tea shop. That's what I like.
Johnny, what have you got for us, my friend?
Well, I'm going to do something for you with just a few cards today. Okay.
Yeah. Right.
And I'm going to start out with 2 red 2s on the table and 2 black 10s in my hand. Actually, you can do quite a lot of magic with just 4 cards like this. That's all it really takes. In fact, I don't think I should maybe tip this, but the 10 of clubs happens to be about the most magical card in the deck. So we've got the 10 of clubs there. And we'll look at the other black 10, the 10 of spades. We'll put that one on top of the 10 of clubs. So I've got the 10 of clubs. We've got the 10 of spades. Now, Keith, you mentioned sleight of hand. I'd like to demonstrate a little bit for you right now. Nothing in the hand. 10 of clubs, 10 of spades, but watch. Did you see anything? See,
I didn't see anything.
I just switched those two cards around. That's the 10 of clubs, and that's the 10 of spades.
You're a genius.
Yeah, let me show you again. I'll do it again. Watch. See, now I switched them right back the way they were.
Yeah.
But not the way they were at the very beginning, with two red twos on the table and two black 10s in my hand.
Oh, perfect.
That's too clever. That sleight of hand must be easy with those small cards, though.
Well, I don't know about that, but okay.
Yeah. Have you got something else for us?
Well, if you got time.
We've got time for you, Johnny.
Fantastic. How about if I show you my biggest card trick? Can I do that?
Yes,
My biggest card trick. And it also is steeped in, it's based on a scientific principle. My biggest card trick. What I have here are 5 red cards.
Yeah.
Right? 5 red cards. We'll put those over here. And I have 5 black cards. Now, Keith and Lady Sarah know this, but magicians usually call the black cards oil, and we refer to the red cards as water. Of course, you learned very early in school that oil and water don't mix. I learned that way back in the 4th grade. It was the best 3 years of my life, by the way. Anyway, these are just cards, and so we can mix them together, and that's what I'm going to do. I'll put a red with a black. And how about if I do that again? Another red and a black, a red and a black, a red and a black, and finally a red and a black. But you know, I am Johnny New York, and I want to really mix these up. I'm going to ask Keith to mix these, to shuffle these cards, even though he's really miles away from me. Keith, would you help me out? I need you to give me the numbers 1, 2, 3, and 4, but in any order you like.
Okay, we'll go 2, 3, 4, 1.
Okay, so you're shuffling. That's 2.
Yeah.
That's 3. That's 4. And that's 1. So in effect here, you can see that Keith has riffle shuffled these cards. And Keith, whenever we shuffle, magicians always cut the cards. Keith, I'm going to let you cut the cards. I'll do it very slowly. You just tell me when, and that's where I'll cut.
Now.
Right there?
Yeah, that's good.
Okay, there we go. Now, these cards are truly mixed, and I think you guys can see that it's a combination of red and black cards. I don't want to see, but I'll show it to all of you.
I would agree. They are thoroughly mixed.
I think you can see they're pretty well mixed. And I don't know the order, but whatever order it is, I'm going to put the top 5 cards way over here. And the remaining 5 cards, whatever they are, I'll put those way over here. And I want to show all of you that each column has indeed, each column has 5 cards, and my hands are empty. I haven't palmed any one of these cards. And I want to go the extra mile, so I'm going to switch cards a little bit. I'll take one out of here and one out of here. Keith, I'm going to let you take this card and insert it anywhere you want, under any one of these cards. I'll tap the card.
Under the bottom card. Under the bottom card.
Under the bottom one, okay?
There we go.
And how about over here? Your choice.
Right in the middle.
Right in the middle. Those Brits are tough, I can tell you. Okay, we'll close them up. And finally, Lady Sarah, would you be kind enough? Should it be the left onto the right, or how do I put them together? Right onto the right.
On the left, onto the right. I'm a left-handed girl.
The left
Yeah.
onto the right.
Yeah.
Now, at this point, these cards were totally mixed. We have no idea, like the top card. It could be red. It could be black. We don't really know. It happens to be a red card. But here's the thing. Even though Keith and Lady Sarah have totally mixed these cards up, if I just give it a quick little snap, something very magical happens. All of the black cards join together, and all of the red cards join together. You see, you can't argue with science. Oil and water don't mix. And that concludes our science lesson for today.
Perfect.
Johnny,
Thank
as
you.
ever, that was absolutely marvelous. Thank you so much. We keep looking across to the right at the moment. Excuse our distraction here, Johnny.
Stephanie, I know that you often have performers into your restaurant, into your coffee shop. So maybe we get some close-up magic going on when we don't have to be socially distant.
That'd be fantastic. We have a huge community table that we normally did events at before COVID happened. So we'd love to have you in for a magic show. Absolutely.
Lovely. And I think we should give you the answer to the question about
say something in British.
Say something in British. And I'm trying to find out where the answer is. Keith,
yes,
do you want to
the word was natter, and this is your word for the day, people, which you have to use in conversation. Natter is exactly what we have been doing for the past half an hour. It means to chat, to talk, to shoot the breeze, to have a natter, but you were so close.
So close, not close enough though. And so we did promise you a little visit from our newest arrival into the household. Hold on. They say never work with children and animals. Here we go. This is our producer, Felicity. Hello, everyone. and here we have the 1, 2, 3. Whoa. Yeah, okay, it's not going well down here.
There we go. This is Magic, who is going to be a guide dog in a year's time. He's currently 25 pounds. And he's learning to sit, and he's going to be with us for a year. So we wanted to introduce him to you and say hello. Say hello. Oh, he's a bit
precious.
And he's got some food there, so he's now quite happy.
Quite happy. We talked about a positive thought. Stephanie, do you have a positive thought to leave with? Because I like to just put Keith in a compromising position.
And leave me here.
So Stephanie, a thought before we finish.
Definitely have one that I look at, especially with COVID going on right now. I think that when you can't control what's happening, challenge yourself to control the way you respond to what's happening. That's where the real power is. And love, respect, and be kind to everyone, because we all can sure use a positive thought right now and positive impact on others.
Yeah.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Johnny, positive thought from you to close off the show.
Yeah, I would say never limit your challenges, but always challenge your limits.
Ooh,
I like it.
Because whenever you do anything, even if you fail, you've still moved ahead in some degree.
Absolutely. Thank you very much, folks.
Thank you.
We've run out of time. In fact, we've overrun our show one more time, which we seem to do because we have such interesting guests.
And we want to say a huge thank you to all those people watching out there, particularly to Leanne in Wales with our granddaughter Nia.
Yes. Hello, Nia.
Wave at the grandchildren, everybody. Well done. Good job.
So thank you very much for watching. A huge thanks to the fabulous Johnny New York and to Stephanie Beck. And from Lady Sarah.
And Keith Fields.
Cheerio.